Just letting devotees in. Nam Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishtaye Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachaline Nivasisha Shunyavadi Pushtatara Siddhanine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, so let me bring up the Bhagavad Gita for you. Hare Krishna. There we go. There's the wrong Bhagavad Gita. No. You can see Bhagavad Gita?
Yes.
1155?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hare Krishna. So, I read this purport last week after we finished our reading on Wednesday. And it's such an amazing purport. It's here. And here Prabhupada mentions that this verse, 1155, is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. Now, I've been reading Bhagavad Gita all these years, for many, many years. And if I was to ask, or if you was to be asked, what is the essence, what verse is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? What verse might devotees quote?
Sarva dharmanam paritaje.
Yeah, you could quote that verse. And another verse that's repeated. Sorry?
Manmana bhav, think of me, do your actions.
Madhyati nam namaskuru. Yeah, perhaps if you was to ask this question in the class, what verse does Prabhupada say is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita? I'm sure they would say those verses. Well, perhaps in some places Prabhupada does say that. Perhaps there's more than one verse is the essence. But here Prabhupada says this is the essence of the whole of the Bhagavad Gita in this verse here. All right. So let's read this essence of Bhagavad Gita. So someone like to kick off, as they say, the reading for this evening?
Hare Krishna, shall I read, Prabhu?
Please, Lord, thank you. Have a go at the Sanskrit.
Yeah, that's something, yes. Mat karma kri mat parmo mad bhakta sangha varijita nirvaha sarva bhuteshu yatse mam eti pandava. Text 55. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my devotional service.
My pure devotional service.
Sorry. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me. Purport, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Anyone who wants to approach the supreme of all the personalities of Godhead on the Krishna Lok planet in the spiritual sky and be intimately connected with the Supreme Personality, Krishna, must take this formula as stated by the Supreme himself. Therefore, this verse is considered to be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is a book directed to the conditioned souls who are engaged in the material world with the purpose of lording it over nature and who do not know of the real spiritual life. The Bhagavad Gita is meant to show how one can understand his spiritual existence and his eternal relationship with the Supreme Spiritual Personality, and to teach one how to go back home, back to Godhead. Now here is the verse which clearly explains the process by which one can attain success in his spiritual activity, devotional service.
Okay, so just before we continue, so here's the points of this purpose. I want to understand who follows this. So first requirement, engage in pure devotional service. Okay? And then he mentions what that is, free from contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculations. So that's pure devotional service. So imagine that's Prabhupada's translation. He's probably elaborating. No, it says here, yeah, Prabhupada's word-for-word translation is freed from Sangha Vajataha. So pure devotional service. So he's quoting that he's translating it in regards to Anyavilasada Sunyam. Yeah, this verse. So that's why he's used this. Pure devotional service means free from fruitive activities and mental speculation. So one should work for Krishna. Do pure devotional service, work for Krishna, make him the supreme goal of our life. Yeah, and be friendly to all living beings. Yeah, so then one goes back to him. Was that a question you had?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Please.
So free from contaminated fruitive activities, that's very clear. So that's karma kanda. You pray to the Lord, do this, I want that, whatever. What would mental speculation be in that case?
Anyone could say? She mentioned karma kanda is fruitive activities. What's mental speculation? What's it called?
Is it Gyan?
Gyan, yeah. Gyan. Listen, just doing Gyan yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just accept what Krishna is saying, more or less, So is that clear? Well, so
Yeah, could you elaborate this a little bit more? So how would mentally somebody speculate?
well, mental speculation, mental speculation, it would mean you could say one is using one's own faculties to try and understand the absolute truth. In one sense, we do have to do that, use our mental faculties, but we are limited. Yeah. So that's why we accept the parampara. We accept it's what the knowledge that is coming down. Right. So for instance, we can all speculate of what is God and what is the path to, or what is the path to obtain God. And persons who have all big speculations, Now, there's two things. There's philosophical speculation. So that's where one will offer reason based on Vedic scriptures. Yeah. Philosophical speculation. Mental speculation, generally it might mean to those who are just, are the Western type of approach, just to try and understand. Yeah, is that clear? So we just accept the spiritual master after careful deliberation, and then as he instructs, then we accept. Yeah, so no need to mental speculate.
Can I give an example? Well, I don't. When Prabhupada first went to America, and he was with that devotee who was preaching. I can't remember his name. Prabhupada,
Dr. Mishra.
Dr.
Mishra.
Okay. Yeah. And Prabhupada could do kirtan but not give class. And Dr. Mishra's is like, meditating on Krishna, not Krishna, but within you, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
So it's like that. So he's mentally not accepting Bhagavad Gita like Prabhupada's preaching, but he's then preaching that it's not to Krishna you surrender, but within you, like that.
Yeah.
So he's mentally making his own gyan up, not listening to what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Prabhupada had quite a sweet relationship with what's his name again?
Dr. Mishra, yeah.
Huh?
Dr. Mishra.
Dr. Mishra, excuse me. Yeah, he had although there was at complete odds philosophically. Prabhupada actually explained that Prabhupada saved his life because he was very unhealthy, very unregulated. And when he was together with Prabhupada was regularly cooking prasadam, and Prabhupada had this, he would not allow him to speak. He can only do kirtan. All right, let's read on a bit. Okay, you can continue with this purport, Mother.
As far as work is concerned, one should transfer his energy entirely to Krishna conscious activities, as stated in the Bhagavad Rasmitra Sindhu. Yeah, 2255. No work should be done by any man except in relationship to Krishna. This is called Krishna karma. One may be engaged in various activities, but one should not be attached to the result of his work. The result should be done only for him. For example, one may be engaged in business, but to transfer that activity into Krishna consciousness, one has to do business for Krishna. If Krishna is the proprietor of the business, then Krishna should enjoy the profit of the business. If a businessman is in possession of thousands and thousands of dollars, and he has to offer all this to Krishna, he can do it. This is work for Krishna. Instead of constructing a big building for his sense gratification, he can construct a nice temple for Krishna, and he can install the deity of Krishna and arrange for the deity's service, as is outlined in the authorized books of devotional service. This is all Krishna karma. One should not be attached to the result of his work, but the result should be offered to Krishna, and one should accept as prasadam the remnants of offerings to Krishna. If one constructs a very big building for Krishna and installs the deity of Krishna, one is not prohibited from living there, but it is understood that the proprietor of the building is Krishna. This is called Krishna consciousness. If, however, one is not able to construct a temple for Krishna, one can engage himself in cleansing the temple of Krishna. That is also Krishna karma. One can cultivate a garden. Anyone who has land, in India at least, any poor man has a certain amount of land, can utilize that for Krishna by growing flowers to offer him. One can sow tulsi plants, because tulsi leaves are very important, and Krishna has recommended this in Bhagavad Gita. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Krishna desires that one offer him either a leaf or a flower or fruit or a little water, and by such an offering he is satiated. This leaf especially refers to the tulsi. So one can sow tulsi and pour water on the plant. Thus, even the poorest man can engage in the service of Krishna. There are some of the examples of how one can engage in working for Krishna.
Okay, there's something which we generally always point out here about this paragraph. What strikes you about this? One of the things that strikes you about this paragraph?
Whatever you do, do it for Krishna.
Yeah, for sure. But how many times does Prabhupada say Krishna?
Many
Must be 20 times, 25 times, something like that. Krishna, Krishna. Yeah?
Yeah, every line almost.
Yeah, every line, Krishna. He uses the term Krishna karma. Now, again, this is the first time I I've read it many times, but interesting how Prabhupada describes it, Krishna karma. Yeah.
Mm.
So any observations or about this paragraph? There's something else as well which I hadn't kind of thought of before. In this verse, anyone knows which chapter and which verse is this? Patram puspam phalam toyam.
Don't know the chapter, but know the verse.
The 9 is 926. And after it comes yat koroshi, yat ashnashi, yat hoshi, dadashi, yat. Whatever you do, do that as an offering to me. So whatever you do, do. But first time, at least becoming here, that patram puspam phalam toyam, that a leaf actually refers to tulsi. I guess it might be obvious in one sense, but I always imagine just picking leaves and offering it to Krishna. But here he's mentioning it's actually the tulsi. Yeah. So even the poorest man can engage in the service of Krishna. Yeah. And once
Acharya did that.
who? Acharya, yes. Read one verse that Krishna was pleased by offering of Ganga Jal. and Tolstoy. He sells himself to such a devotee. So how's everyone going as far as working for Krishna?
Slowly getting there, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Failing miserable.
Failing. Is failing. Some are getting there. Should be done for him. It should be done, but one should not be. The result should be done only for him. The example may be, yes. That has to do business for Krishna. If Krishna is the proprietor of the business, then Krishna should enjoy the profit of the business. It doesn't mean we go without anything. We have to maintain ourselves. We have to pay the bills, etc. We have to make ends meet. But really, if you do happen to have a business, then that business is dedicated for Krishna. For Krishna. This is Krishna's business. Yeah, and he says, the businessman is in possession of thousands and thousands of dollars. And if he has to offer all this to Krishna, he can do it. This is for Krishna. So Prabhupada's speaking here quite enthusiastically, could say. He's Prabhupada's always fired up. He's give everything to Krishna. Absolutely everything. This is work for Krishna. Anyway, and then he goes on, constructing a big building, sense gratification. He speaks about installing a deity and arrange for the deity's service, staring, etc. Hare Krishna. Growing flowers for Krishna, can have a garden. Anyone has a garden out there? Any of you have a garden? No? All in flats? All in apartments? Yes, mostly.
Don't need a garden.
Don't need it. We do. You can grow flowers for Krishna.
Too much work.
We have one. Yeah, you have garden, Bhagavad Kishore?
Very small one, yes. We have roses growing. So
okay. So you offer them to your deities, huh? You go on
yes, we do.
Yeah. Do that, yeah. We have a famous Mother Sabita in the temple. Every summer she brings bags and bags of flowers. Sometimes they're really beautiful, big roses, etc. Hare Krishna. All right. Unless any other points, we can read the next paragraph. Prabhupada's going to speak about Goloka Vrindavan. Okay, continue reading, Mother.
Okay. The word mat parma refers to one who considers the association of Krishna in his supreme abode to be the highest perfection of life. Such a person does not wish to be elevated to the higher planets, such as the moon or sun on howling planets, or even the highest planet of this universe, Brahmalok. He has no attraction for that. He is only attracted to being transferred to the spiritual sky. And even in the spiritual sky, he is not satisfied with merging into the growing Brahmajyoti effulgence, for he wants to enter the highest spiritual planet, namely Krishna Lok. Goloka Vrindavan. He has full knowledge of that planet, and therefore he's not interested in any other.
Can I sorry, I keep stopping you, but I read this last week and I was reading it. I was thinking, do you know where some of our trying to say there is this sentence here, Goloka Vrindavan, he has full knowledge of that planet, and therefore he's not interested in any other. So this statement, he has full knowledge of that planet. That means what does that imply? Full knowledge of that planet.
That we get to know the residents of Goloka Vrindavan.
Yeah, based on our readings of Sankara Gamudi and etc., then full knowledge of that planet means to know the moods, how they serve Krishna, the different relationships with Krishna, Yeah, you have Radharani, the Gopas and the Gopis, full knowledge. Yeah. And then one is not interested in any other planet. Yeah, I was reading that last week and just...
I remember what Maharaj, I think he said it somewhere, that if you want to go on holiday, say you're going to Spain or something, you tend to find out what weather, what kind of place it is, what...
Yeah. You want to find out what time's the best time to get on the beach before you lose the best spot.
Yeah, so then when you want to go to Goloka Vrindavan, you need to find out.
Yeah, so we should read Krishna book. We should read Srimad Bhagavatam. It's going to tell us all about Goloka Vrindavan. And then we have no interest for anything else and any other place, Okay, unless there's any other comments or questions, you can continue.
Radha Samson is trying to get in.
Excuse me?
Radha Samson is trying to get in.
Oh, is she? I can't see. It's not coming up on my... Normally it comes up. I can normally see it.
Oh, okay. Gayatri, can you send her the link? Oh, is that the link? Okay, I can send her the link again.
Sorry, someone speaking there? Okay.
What is the line?
Radha
So-
Samson.
Say again.
Radha Samson.
Okay, just continue.
Okay.
Carry on. I'll try and send her the link again.
Yeah.
Okay. As indicated by the word Mad Bhakta, he fully engages in devotional service, specifically in the 9 processes of devotional engagement: hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering prayers, carrying out the orders of the Lord, making friends with him, and surrendering everything to him. One can engage in all 9 devotional processes, or 8 or 7, or at least in one, and that will surely make one perfect. The term
Yeah, carry on, yeah.
Okay. The term Sangha Varjita is very significant. One should disassociate himself from persons who are against Krishna. Not only are the atheist persons against Krishna, but so also are those who are attracted to fruitive activities and mental speculation. Therefore, the pure form of devotional service is described in Bhakti Rasa Mitra Sindhu as follows in 1.1.11. In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami clearly states that if anyone wants to execute unalloyed devotional service, he must be freed from all kinds of material contamination. He must be freed from the association of persons who are addicted to fruitive activities and mental speculation. When freed from such unwanted association and from the contamination of material desires, one favorably cultivates knowledge of Krishna. That is called pure devotional service. Anu Kulashaya Sankalp Prakti Kulashya Vajitana Hari Bhakta Vilasa 11.676. One should think of Krishna.
This verse is describing Sharanagati, the principles of surrender. Now, Prabhupada's now he's just paraphrasing it here, and now he's gonna speak about these different items of surrender, I think. Yeah. Carry on, love.
One should think of Krishna and act for Krishna favorably, not unfavorably. Kamsa was an enemy of Krishna's. From the very beginning of Krishna's birth, Kamsa planned in so many ways to kill him. And because he was always unsuccessful, he was always thinking of Krishna. Thus, while working, while eating, and while sleeping, he was always Krishna conscious in every respect. But that Krishna consciousness was not favorable. And therefore, in spite of his always thinking of Krishna 24 hours a day, he was considered a demon, and Krishna at last killed him. Of course, anyone who is killed by Krishna attains salvation immediately, but that is not the aim of the pure devotee. The pure devotee does not even want salvation. He doesn't want to be transferred even to the highest planet, Goloka Vrindavan. His only objective is to serve Krishna wherever he may be.
Okay, we'll just pause there. Any questions there? comments? Okay, we can continue. Continue.
A devotee of Krishna is friendly to everyone. Therefore, it is said here that he has no enemy. Nirvera. How is this? Nirvaha. How is this? A devotee situated in Krishna consciousness knows that only devotional services to Krishna can relieve a person from all the problems of life. He has personal experience of this, and therefore he wants to introduce this system, Krishna consciousness, into human society. There are many examples in history of devotees of the Lord who risked their lives for the spreading of God consciousness. The favorite example is Lord Jesus Christ. He was crucified by the non-devotees, but he sacrificed his life for spreading God consciousness. Of course, it would be superficial to understand that he was killed. Similarly, in India, also there are many examples, such as Thakur Haridas and Prahlad Maharaj. Why such risk? Because they wanted to spread Krishna consciousness, and it is difficult. A Krishna conscious person knows that if a man is suffering, it is due to his forgetfulness of his eternal relationship with Krishna. Therefore, the highest benefit one can render to human society in relieving one's neighbor from all material problems. In such a way, a pure devotee is engaged in the service of the Lord. Now we can imagine how merciful Krishna is to those engaged in his service, risking everything for him. Therefore, it is certain that such a person must reach the supreme planet after leaving the body. Do you want me to stop there for this discussion?
I was just one thing I was thinking of. The way Prabhupada, or this purple, is typical of the mood of Prabhupada, and it really stands out if you read the purports of the acharyas as well, which I have different commentaries from the different acharyas: Ramanujacharya, Madhavacharya, Baladev Vijayabhushana, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. Now, they're all of course, they're all acharyas. They're all perfect devotees. But Prabhupada's mood is so much, I've used the word soaked, but it's so much about giving Krishna consciousness, spreading Krishna consciousness, sacrificing for Krishna consciousness. Mainly the acharyas will get into commenting on the Sanskrit and the grammar. They bring out bhakti, of course, as the ultimate, as the ultimate quest for everyone. But the further that Prabhupada communicates the message of the urgency to give Krishna consciousness to everyone, you don't really pick that up so much if you read the commentaries of the acharyas, the sense of urgency. But here in this paragraph here, in fact, the whole purple, Prabhupada is you can really feel it, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
There for the highest benefit, all material problems, someone sacrifices a whole life. He gives example of Jesus spreading a life for Krishna consciousness. This is what Prabhupada did himself, many examples, etc. That was just Hare Krishna.
We can also think of the Prabhupada disciples who risked their lives to spread Krishna consciousness. They are not any less empowered by Srila Prabhupada, of course, but some devotees, like the Tribhuvanath, for example.
Yeah, it's Tribhuvanath. They gave their whole life, and they have this sense of mission, this is what makes ISKCON quite unique, even amongst the other Gaudiya Vaishnavas, which we have great respect for. But there is a specific mood which Prabhupada has, and Prabhupada has given us, and as you mentioned, subsequent his disciples.
The ones in Russia, they had no association of any devotees or anyone, and they still managed to give their life.
Yeah, that's a fascinating fascinating part about ISKCON history in Russia. There's this book, what's it called? Salted
Bread.
Yeah, that's such a powerful book. But yeah, and it was, I remember Maharaj Kishore, your spiritual master, Bhakti Vikash Maharaj, he was in South India, and he met with the high-ranking priests of the Ramanuja Sampradaya. It was a really interesting conversation, because Ramanujacharya was very much into preaching. Ramanuja was spreading very much, but your spiritual master, in a wonderful way, in a very nice relationship he had with them, he was asking them, well, basically he was saying, what has happened? What's happened to the preaching spirit in your Sampradaya? He said it in a nice, respectful way. And it was an interesting conversation, but he was highlighting, he was encouraging them to join forces with ISKCON society. And I think and having said that, I think they are preaching. I think they are they are preaching. Now, when I spent some time in South India, because they're being threatened by the spread of Islam in South India.
Yes.
So now they're doing their best, and you got the Christians who are coming to India and trying to convert people. So they are being a little bit more progressive in their preaching.
What I notice in India is they, like particularly the Brahmins, they think that this knowledge is only for them. You have to be born in that lineage to learn Sanskrit or have that knowledge. And this is why I think it degraded. Now they're threatened by other religions who are saying, doesn't matter wherever you are, come and join and be part of it. So now they have to lift their bar up. They have to make it all encompassing. Previously, it was not like that. It was you have to be born Hindu, you have to be born a Brahmin, and be part of the lineage. Only then you would get the knowledge.
Yeah, you've kind of hit the nail on the head. You've described it exactly. Yeah, they're quite content with their Brahmanism, and they're they don't see it as a need or a mission to spread Krishna consciousness.
And there is a feeling of superiority as well that, I remember this time when I went to Tirupati, this is just a couple of months ago, and food is spicy for me. So, and then there was one place they were serving and they were Brahmins, and they said, this food will only be served to Brahmins. Only if you're a Brahmin, you can come and have prasadam here. Otherwise, sorry. And they were stopping everybody and asking. And I was thinking, my God, it's prasadam. Even that you have to be.
Did you tell them you're a Brahmin?
I didn't say anything. I was just disgusted by the whole thing. But I wanted to have a non-spicy one because the one that they serve in Tirumala, Tirupati, the sambar and everything is very hot. And you can't eat outside as well. It's too hot. So then I just had yogurt rice. But I was just appalled that they would not serve anybody. So I went and stood there and said, can I have some? And they said, and I was like, they'll only serve if you're a Brahmin.
Yeah, but we went to Chidambaram, which is in South India. Yeah. It's a Chidambaram city.
Yes,
The entire road, each and every person living in those flats were Brahmins. Only Brahmins can go there.
Yes.
I inquired because everybody had a Tulsi Devi in their balcony. Each and every single balcony had a Tulsi Devi. That's why I asked the taxi driver, why is this? I don't see it anywhere else. And he said, these are the Chidambaram Brahmins. Normal people can't get there. Yeah. There is very high quality Brahmins.
Yeah. So you can't even walk there. You can't even walk.
Not within the buildings and all there.
This is the problem. This is the problem, and it still happens. And Srila Prabhupada just opened that, that conception. Anybody who want to do Brahmin worship can do as long as they're following. There's nothing like that. You have to be born Brahmin to follow.
My Guru Maharaj told them straight, But even now, every single year we have a camp in Sri Rangam, and the big Mahanta, and they all come to congratulate Maharaj because he's spreading Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, it's interesting. They do have respect for what ISKCON's doing.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
They have great respect for it.
That's totally agreed. I had the tilak, I went for Srirangam, and this thing immediately, oh, and they were like friendly, chatting up and wanting to know, or
Yeah.
saying, you know, and seeing the tilak, they were like, oh yeah, you can have darshan. Very, very, what do you call,
Welcoming.
Respectfully.
And-
Yeah.
welcoming, very embracing of the fact that, you know, it's like, yeah,
So that's good. That's good.
it's a big change. It's, you know,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is the flip side is that is why it's not growing so much, because they're keeping it restricted to them.
Yeah. Yeah, because only, yeah, you can't, unless you're born a Brahmin. Just like Judaism as well. And you can't be a Jew unless you're born a Jew. You know? So it's so like, that's why they don't preach. You know? Okay. Then we can read the last paragraph of this verse. Then we'll read the,
Shall I carry on, Prabhu?
carry on. Yeah, just finish.
Yeah. In summary, the universal form of Krishna, which is a temporary manifestation, and the form of time, which devours everything, and even the form of Vishnu four-handed, have all been exhibited by Krishna. Thus, Krishna is the origin of all these manifestations. It is not that Krishna is a manifestation of the original Vishwarupa or Vishnu. Krishna is the origin of all forms. There are hundreds and thousands of Vishnus, but for devotee, no form of Krishna is important but the original form, two-handed Sham Sundara. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that those who are attached to the Sham Sundara form of Krishna in love and devotion can see him always within their hearts and cannot see anything else. One should understand, therefore, that the purport of this 11th chapter is that the form of Krishna is essential and supreme. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 11th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of universal form. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Oh, the Premanandi, Hare Krishna. So we complete exciting chapter. Huh? This chapter,
Very
11.
Yes.
What we're going to do here, remember after each chapter, we said we would read what's called the Song Divine by one devotee, Kalakanta Prabhu. Yeah, and then also we'll read, time permitting, we'll read also the Mahatmya of the next chapter, which is chapter 12. But any closing comments on that before we do that? Okay. Give me 1 minute or so while I'm just going to bring it up so you can see it as we read it. Again, I found this good to go over this because it gives you like a review of the whole chapter, you know, and this is quite a short one actually. I better share the screen. You can't see anything. I'll let you see it. Share. There you can see, yeah. Okay, so I can read this and you can follow. I'll play some. Oh, big loud. Okay, here we go. Dear Krishna, your sacred words have caused my doubts to die. Your perfection stirs my heart. O Lord of lotus eyes, though I love your present form, the goal of meditation, may I see your giant form that fills the whole creation? Can my mind conceive it? Will my senses still perform? If so, then kindly show me your universal form. Dearest son of Pritha, now behold my mystic will, hosts of multicolored forms and hosts upon them still. Throngs of shining demigods step back to show you more, unveiling a vision no one else has ever seen before. Anything you wish to see in any time or space, you can completely all at once and in one place. Mortal eyes cannot perceive this endless form of mine. Therefore I bestow on you the gift of eyes divine. Then Arjuna saw a mass of faces, mouths, and eyes, bearing weapons, jewels, and clothes, unearthly in their size. There in Krishna's body he could see the gods dispersed on countless stars and planets spread throughout the universe. Many thousands blazing suns arising in the east couldn't match the radiance this cosmic form released. Reeling in astonishment, he says, standing on end, Arjuna bowed and offered prayers before his mighty friend. Gathered in your body, I see gods of awesome power, Shiva, sacred serpents, and Lord Brahma's lotus flower. Bellies, arms, and eyes appear. I cannot comprehend. Nowhere does it start, O Lord, and nowhere does it end. Glowing clubs and discs and crowns have now surrounded me. All the blazing glare has made it difficult to see. Krishna, you are the origin, the shelter of us all. Your eternal truth, my Lord, you never slip or fall. You see every secret with your eyes, the moon and sun. Flames shoot forward from your mouth, consuming everyone. Standing in one place, you stretch through stars and cosmic night. All the worlds behold your form and shrink away in fright. Fearful gods bow down to you and bow down yet again. Perfect sages worship you by singing Vedic hymns. Seeing this great form of yours with fearful limbs and teeth, all the gods are struck with awe. Like me, they seek relief. Multicolored hues in you extend throughout the sky. I am filled with terror by your gaping mouth and eyes. Lord of lords who holds the worlds, be gracious unto me. I have become unbalanced as I see your death-like teeth. Kuru warriors rush between your giant fearsome lips. You devour limbs and skulls in bloody grinding grip. Like a river fills the sea or moths fly into fire, people rush into your mouth, the universal fire. Filling all the universe with dreadful scorching rays, you devour the multitudes who come from every way. I must know your purpose, and I bow down in accord. Tell me who you are, so fierce of form, O Lord of Lords. Time I am, the death of all, and I am here to reign. But for you, the Pandavas, all soldiers shall be slain. Rise and fight and win your fame and claim your right to rule. Even now your foes are dead, and you are but my tool. Perfect sages, Arjuna speaks, perfect sages praise you, Lord, O conqueror of lust. You alarm the evil, but invigorate the just. Primal Lord, the universe resides in you alone. You fill every corner, and you know all that is known. You transcend this universe, which you alone create. Who does not bow down to you, the greatest of the great? You control the air and fire, the water and the moon. Endlessly I bow down, and then again I bow to you. I bow down from front and back. I bow from left and right. Anything that's anywhere is but your boundless might. You should thus be glorified by everyone that lives. Yet I have made offenses, I implore you to forgive. Foolishly I spoke with you in friendly conversation, thinking you my equal as we sat in relaxation. As a person overlooks a disrespectful friend, as a lover disregards remarks that might offend, as a father tolerates a coarse unruly son, please excuse offensive things I've ignorantly done. Your gigantic form has left me paralyzed with fear. Please again reveal your form I've known for all these years. Krishna speaks. Dear Arjuna, I've gladly shown this universal form, full of light and blazing mouths that no one have seen before. This has left you thunderstruck and filled your heart with fear. Calmly now behold me in the way that you hold most dear. Arjuna, there's no end, Parantapa, to my manifestation. This should be Krishna, yeah? There's no end, Parantapa, to my manifestations. All that I have just declared is but an indication. Know that every opulent and glorious creation springs from but the spark of my resplendent situation. If you did austerities or gave your wealth away, still you could not see me as you see me here today. Blessed souls who fill their lives with service done for me, see me as I am, Arjuna, and know my mystery. One who acts with thoughts of me and treats all as a friend, making me the goal of life, achieves me in the end. Okay, Hari Om, that's Hare Krishna. Nice, huh? Nice summary of the 12th chapter. Hare Krishna. Very sweet, isn't it? Nice, beautifully written and composed.
Poetically.
Yeah. Okay, so sorry, see me scrolling away here. Let me just let's just read the Mahatmya of chapter 12. What's the time? Let's get back. Where was okay, 1 second. Chapter 11. We might go over a few minutes, but we did last time, isn't it? The beginning of the chapter. We just went over a few minutes reading the Mahatmya. So I'm just scrolling around here, getting to chapter 12. Then I share the screen, and you can, as I'm reading, you can read as well. Okay. Oh, where's it gone? Okay, Gita Mahatmya. This is Lord Shiva's glorification of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, you can see.
Yeah.
Oh, where is it? Where is Lord Shiva's? No, made us spin off and okay. Yeah, I gotta find it. Let me stop sharing. Let me try and find it, and then I might gonna run out of time. Gita Mahatmya. It says Gita Mahatmya.
Is that the one that you got Lord Shiva and Parvati in the front cover?
Yeah. Okay, 1 second. I'm not going to give up. Gita Mahatmya. Oh, no, I got it. Yeah, it's my mistake. Okay, so chapter 12. Okay, here it is. So share screen. Okay, you can see it here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lord Shiva said, I will recite the wonderful glories of the 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita before you, dear Parvati. Let me just have a quick look how long it is. That's very short.
It's not okay.
Sorry?
Doesn't matter. It's not that long.
Yeah, it's over Krishna conscious time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In the south, there is an important holy place by the name of Kolpapur, where the temple of the Lord's divine consort. We play some sounds as well. Mahalakshmi is situated. Mahalakshmi is continuously worshipped by all of the demigods. That place is the fulfiller of all desires. Rudragaya, who is also situated there. One day, one young prince arrived there. His body was the color of gold. His eyes were very beautiful. His shoulders were very strong and his chest was broad. His arms are long and strong. When he arrived at Kolhapur, he first went to the lake known as Manikanta Tirtha, where he took bath and offered worship to his ancestors. And then he went to the temple of Mahalakshmi, where he offered his obeisances. Then he started to pray. O Devi, whose heart is full of mercy, who is worshipped throughout the three worlds and is the giver of all fortune and the mother of creation, all glories to you. O shelter of all living entities, O fulfiller of all desires, you are the wonderful energy of Lord Achyuta, who is maintaining the three worlds. You are the supreme goddess or protector of the devotees, all glories to you. O Devi, it is you who always fulfills the desires of the devotees, and it is you who engage them in the service of Lord Achyuta. You are eternal. You are eternal, O Lord Achyuta.
No, you're eternal and deliverer of all fallen souls.
Yeah, I've lost my place.
Further down, you are eternal after Lord Achyuta.
Yeah, okay, thank you. You are eternal deliverer of all fallen souls. All glories unto you, O Devi, for the welfare and protection of the three worlds. You take on many forms such as Ambika, Brahmani, and Vaishnavi, Maheshwari, Virahi, Mahalakshmi, Nrsimha, Indri, Kumari, Chandika, Lakshmi, Savitri, Chandakara, Rohini, Parameshwari. All glories to you, whose glories are unlimited. Kindly be merciful to you. Mother Sudami Radhika, could you perhaps finish the reading? My voice is getting out of it.
Sure.
Thank
When
you.
Mahalakshmi heard those prayers, she became very pleased and said to the prince, "O prince, I am very happy with you. Please request any benediction according to your heart's desire from me." That prince said, "O mother of the three worlds, my father, King Brahadrathi, was performing the famous sacrifice known as Ashwamedha. But before having completed that yagya, he died due to a disease. And before I was able to complete that Ashwamedha yagya, someone stole the horse that had traveled all over the world and had been purified for sacrifice in that Ashwamedha. I sent persons in all directions in search of that horse, but they were unable to find it. Then I took permission from the priest to come and pray for your help. And if you're pleased with me, then kindly let me know how I can get back that horse and complete the fire sacrifice and thus fulfill my father's desire." Mahalakshmi said, "O noble prince, by the gate of my temple, one highly elevated Brahmana lives, who is known by the name Siddha Samadhi. He will be able to fulfill your desire." When the prince heard these words of Mahalakshmi, he went to the place where Siddha Samadhi lived and offered obeisances to him. After having offered obeisances, he stood before Siddha Samadhi silently with folded hands. Siddha Samadhi then said, You have been sent by Mother Mahalakshmi, so I will fulfill your desire." Then, chanting some mantras, Siddha Samadhi brought all of the demigods before him. The prince at that time saw all of them demigods standing before Siddha Samadhi, awaiting his instructions. Then Siddha Samadhi said to those demigods, "O Devas, this prince's horse, which he had kept ready for his sacrifice, was stolen at night by Lord Indra. Kindly bring that back now."
Carry on.
Immediately, those demigods brought that horse before him, after which Siddha Samadhi dismissed them. When the prince saw all of these wonderful happenings, he fell at the feet of Siddha Samadhi and inquired from him, "How have you attained such power, which I have not seen or heard of anyone else possessing? O great sage, kindly hear my request." My father, King Brahadratha, while beginning the Ashwamedha sacrifice, died unexpectedly, and thus I kept his body in pure boiled oil. Kindly, if you desire, please bring him back to life. Hearing this, Siddha Samadhi gave a little chuckle and said, let us go to that place where you have kept your father's body. When they reached that place, Siddha Samadhi took some water in his hand, and while chanting some mantras, he sprinkled the water onto the head of the dead body of King Brahadratha. As soon as that water touched his head, the king sat up and inquired from Siddha Samadhi, O great devotee, who are you? The prince immediately informed his father of all the events which had taken place. When the king heard that narration, he again and again offered his obeisances to Siddha Samadhi and inquired from him what austerities he had performed to attain such divine powers. Hearing the king's inquiry, Siddha Samadhi replied, my dear King Brahadratha, daily I recite the 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Hearing those words of that great devotee, the king learned from Siddha Samadhi the 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In the course of time, both the king and his son attained the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Many other persons have achieved the topmost goal, devotion to Lord Krishna's lotus feet, by reciting the 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita daily. Okay. Hare Krishna. So that's the 12th chapter we'll be starting tomorrow. This is the shortest chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. It's just 20 verses. And I learned these verses some time ago, but I need to brush up on them. It's only 20 slokas in this chapter. Okay, so thank you again, everyone, for joining us for this reading. And we'll start chapter 12 tomorrow, which is devotional service. Okay? Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Pavane Vaishnava.